All right. Thank you, and thank you. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. My name is Calvin Dean, and every year I have this one show. Like last year, I had this one show where I had Lamar Jackson winning the MVP. This is preseason, guys. Yeah, and Baltimore and San Francisco 49ers would be in the Super Bowl. Now, I was one game away from going back to back. And, Lamar Jackson, who won the MVP? Oh, Lamar Jackson did. Great call. Thank you, and thank you. Yeah. This year is going to be epic. Yeah, I am calling some epic calls right now. This show right here. I mean, if you like long shots, I'm going to give you long shots. I'm going to give you long shots in fantasy football. I'm going to give you long shots in the MVP race in the National Football League. I am going to give you an upset special. Who will make? Yes, I said who will make the NFC playoffs and also AFC playoffs. And now, wait a minute, guys. It's not all about the playoffs, is it? It's all about the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm going to tell you who's going to be in the Super Bowl. And it's going to be epic, guys. Epic. Let's just rock and roll. Wow, we have a show for you guys today. I mean, this is it. This is the epic show, guys. I'm going to tell you who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who will win the MVP. I'll give you the long shots as well. I'll give you long shots, that scenarios that could happen. I did it last year, and I'm doing it again this year. And like last year, Lamar Jackson winning the MVP. Guess who called it before the season started? Me. And I called Baltimore and the San Francisco 49ers would be in the Super Bowl. Well, I was one game away from that. And, and this year is just so amazing. I'm noticing something in the league right now. I'm noticing the Philadelphia Eagles. I really am. I mean, I put out a short today about Saquon Barkley, in preseason, how he juked someone and just, broke their ankles, man. And then just Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are looking at each other going, whoa, man. Oh, man, it's a great short. Go to my YouTube shorts. I've been doing some great stuff from the camps and stuff. It's great. But what I'm trying to get at is that, okay, so they have Devontae Smith, right? And then they have A.J. Brown, and they have Goddard, can't forget him. And now they have Saquon Barkley, who looks like he was in rookie. The guy is just, he's on fire. He was like literally squatting 600 pounds. It's just, the guy's back, guys. The guy's back, and his cuts, oh my God, he just stops in a dime. Just, wow. Anyway, the Commanders just traded today, right? The former first-round pick, wide receiver, Jalen Dotson, to the Eagles. He's a burner. And just think, he's going to actually have a quarterback, to throw to. Because it's that whole Commanders offense has been without a legitimate quarterback for a long time, right? And so it's always a new one. There's another one. Here's another one. And it's maybe I think Jaden Daniels is going to do great this year, mind you. But they're sending Dotson to the Eagles, so the Eagles are really, I'm seriously, guys, they are loading up this year. And that's what I predicted, that the Eagles would win the division. I really do think. I just think all the acquisitions that they're making, fitting in pieces, what that does, Dotson, right? Dotson Smith on the outside, that'll open up the middle for Goddard or A.J. Brown. I mean, and then let A.J. cook, Once he gets the ball, oof, he's this big, just physical, very gifted player. And I think the Eagles are, just a surprise team this year. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. The way they just farted down the last 7 games of the season, it was pathetic. But I really think that they really shored up their offense. Same with the Baltimore Ravens with, King Henry, and I think a lot of teams are really loading up. I mean, the Houston Texans, by the way, wow, have they been loading up, and just their offense. I mean, they got a 16.5 sacked, yes, 16.5 sacked defensive end, and they just gobbled that up from Minnesota. It's just they just seem very in tune to win, and plus, I mean, the coach is just amazing, and Stroud, and they, they're just the acquisitions off field, Stephon Diggs, Stephon Diggs, and they have Tank Dell, and they have Nico Collins, and they got it on and on, Schultz, and man, I just can keep, it's just an endless talented group of individuals, and CJ just was knocked it out of the park last year. He just looked so good, Now, I'm thinking he might have sophomore-itis, usually the second year, the defenses start, knowing what you do, getting your weaknesses, playing to the weaknesses. And I think it's really important, very, very important for CJ to get on track right away. But, I mean, that team, how can you not get on track right away? That team is just loaded with talent, that's for sure. And, you just have to watch a lot of things. Mixon, Mixon from Cincinnati. Wow. I mean, just, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. The Eagles' offensive Lane Johnson says that he realistically has 2 to 3 more years left. Wow. So Lane Johnson, guys. Lane Johnson hasn't ever allowed a sack from his side. Has never allowed it. I mean, the guy is just, he's this mammoth. He's a building, like Trent Williams and Lane Johnson. They're buildings of men. I mean, they're just these guys who are just so big and so strong and so talented. And, you can't get around a wall. You have to go way around the wall. And once you go way around that wall, which is called Lane Johnson, then you're too late. You're not even near the quarterback. So, it's just, there's some great, I'm just telling you, this Eagle team, watch out this year. Watch out, guys. Watch out, And, there's some other great signings. I mean, think about it. Atlanta's loading up, signing cornerback A.J. Terrell to a 4-year, $81 million contract extension. Wow. I mean, they're just loading. I mean, Cousins, off-season, Penix. I mean, hopefully that Penix, pick will come out rosy. It could. I mean, they could use it, in the system, in their offense. Why not? Why not? I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's more of a drop back passer. He's brilliant. Like what he did last year before he got hurt, he was on fire. He was on fire. I think it was like Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, and he just couldn't miss. He was on fire. I've never seen him play that good, and then getting hurt. Oh, just sad to see a guy just in his peak prime, and he was doing so well. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. Now, the thing of it is, who has been looking great in preseason as a quarterback? The rookies. Oh my God. I mean, Mr. Number One pick himself, Caleb Williams. Wow. Caleb is just, he's intense, and he reminds me a little bit like Mahomes. Get out of the pocket, run around, create and find the open man and just make these insane passes on the run. And that's what I think that Caleb Williams brings, and I think he's going to be a huge fantasy football pick this year. I really do. What I've seen in preseason, wow. I would be sitting him this next game. I really would. And it's on tonight, and at 5:20 p.m. And Chicago is playing Kansas City in preseason. This is our last preseason game. But anyway, I think that Chicago, definitely has the team, and I also see Jaden Daniels in the Commanders. Him having a huge year, a big fantasy year. And I mean, there's a lot of great fantasy picks. There's a lot. I mean, but you have to look at fantasy football that ones that could or would. Now, when you're thinking about the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers, the thing is I want everyone to go. You type up Aaron Rodgers, the best of Aaron Rodgers, or something in YouTube, and watch some of his stuff. Some of his stuff is, it's just, he's great, and he was great when he could scramble, and sort of like the Caleb Williams and the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allens and the Lamar Jacksons, the ones who are huge in fantasy football, very, very good, winning, big winners, and I'm just pointing this out that's what it was. Now, with Rodgers, he was almost like that. He would make occasional runs and slide down and give that grin of his, and then call people off sides. The cadence. And very, very good at what he does. Mechanically sound, has a rocket arm. Just that what happens is that you're 40 years old and you tear an Achilles tendon. I just don't see him running and getting out of harm's way as quickly as he was. You just won't be. Guys, you tear an ACL, you're not going to ever be what you were just before you tore your ACL. It just doesn't get better. It doesn't get like when it wasn't torn. It will never be that way. That's just proof. Unless when you tear your ACL, you weren't at your peak. You have more peak. Now that's the only way that happens. If that athlete wasn't really at his peak performance yet. And he tears his ACL, so he comes back, and he's better. It's the first year, usually the first year of any ACL tear, the first year back. Like Saquon Barkley, he was a step slow, his cuts weren't as crisp, and he wasn't there. He played the season, but he wasn't really there. But now, since it's been a few years since his ACL tear, Saquon Barkley looks as better as ever. I think he looks as almost like he was in his rookie season. Almost, I think he was at his peak in his rookie season. Maybe he could have gotten better, like more. I would say, just consistent, and so I think he's going to come back this year and be very consistent. It's going to be like McCaffrey. I really believe that the Eagles are going to give it a run this year. They're going to give it a run. They could make it to the AFC Championship game. They really could. And I think the San Francisco 49ers will be at the NFC Championship game as well. My next thing about the AFC. Well, the AFC, I was just talking about Rodgers and the AFC. With Rodgers, I just don't see, I hope he does, do well, but, he's going to be more of a drop back passer, getting it out quick, trying not to move too much around in the pocket, especially first year back from an Achilles tear at 41. So, I don't expect him to run and get and scramble or anything like that. I don't think that will happen. I not to the point where he was an MVP in 2020. Not to that. It won't be like that. But then I wish him well. I won't say anything about his off-season BS that he's been pulling. I think if he comes back, he'll be like 2024, 2020 when he won the MVP, and then a few years even before that when he made these wild scrambles and for 15, 20 yards, sort of like a Mahomes-esque type of scrambles, and that's not going to be even present in this Rodgers in 2024. And unfortunately, I think it diminishes his talents that he used to have. And I think he will possibly do well. They're just, rush him and get him out of the pocket and see how he does. That's what I would try to do. I would try to squeeze him out of the pocket and, okay, beat me now. But then right now, what you have to understand is that from 4 years ago, guys are even linebackers are even faster than 4 years ago. They're even stronger, more agility. Excuse me. And so with Rodgers, that Achilles, man, I think he'll have a good season, but not a great season. And I think they'll win some games, and their defense, their offense. Hopefully, their offense clicks. But they don't really have the passing core like the Philadelphia Eagles. The passing core of Dotson, AJ Brown, and Smith. They just don't have that. So you have to look at all these things when you bring a team and say, okay, who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to make the championship? Who's going to do that? And so you just have to realize the effort what it would take for a Jet team to make it into the Super Bowl this year. It would take remarkable recovery by Rodgers. Rodgers would probably have to start scrambling again and getting out of the pocket and creating. But this receiver core is very questionable. Breece Hall, he will probably he's been great. He is great. I think their running attack will do well. and they have to have Brees Hall. They have to have Brees Hall. That's for sure. Hey guys, let's just do it. I mean, let's go and let's get a prediction now on the whole prediction show. What I love about all of this is that we have NFL starts in in under a month. Oh my God, guys! I mean, this is so much fun. I'm so stoked, man. All right, guys, here we go. Let's just do it. Let's get crazy, man. Let's get into some predictions, and man, I think that the Jags, it's going to be between the Jags and the Houston Texans. I have the Jags doing better and winning the division. The Houston Texans, now that's one upset special team that I'm going to make. I'm going to tell you who I think will be in the Super Bowl, and I will tell you who long shots it could be in the Super Bowl. That's what this show is all about. It's epic, man, epic. Okay, so let's just go quickly. We have the AFC North 2024 schedules, all that stuff. Gone over this, and I fully believe that the Baltimore Ravens will take the North this year with King Henry. The Bengals, I don't know about their rushing attack. They have, will it be Brown? Could be. I mean, there's just, it's very up in the air. Jamar Chase is holding out because, he's supposed to make $4 million. Jamar Chase. That's one of the top receivers in the league. And it's his third year, right? So he has really 2 more years of his rookie contract. So that's just what it is. You really can't hold out on your third year. You could try, but I think it would not be smart. Now when it gets to the 4th year, that's when you go to the 5th year option, and then you talk. Usually, you're talking after before the 4th year. You're talking extension, okay? Because they have, like, the first round picks have a 5-year contract with the NFL, and that's why they call it the 5th year option. Now they can pick up, like, the team can pick up their 5th year option, and the team can't. That's why it's an option, So you have the AFC East 2024. I have the unfortunately the Patriots, hitting rock bottom on these 4 teams. That's for sure. The Jets could be right there with them. They could, or the Jets could surprise a lot of people and maybe go 9-8. I think it's really between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. I think either one of them will be like 10-7. It's up for grabs, that division. I'm leaning more towards Buffalo over than Miami, just because of Josh Allen. And then we have the AFC South. I have the Jags taking this division. I told everyone I think C.J. Stroud and the Texans have been really loading up. I think they would be a surprise. I think Tennessee's going to be a surprise. Tennessee, years ago, guys, Tennessee used to be the king of this division. They would win it every single year. And now the king is gone to Baltimore, and now the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, they get their star player back. They're an incredible quarterback. And, they could take a swing or 2 against some of these teams, So this is a really interesting division. I think it's one of the most competitive divisions. I really do. But I truly believe that Jags are going to take this division. Now, this AFC West is a very questionable division. Think about it. The Broncos. Wow. I mean, what a pick. And Nix, what a pick. The guy has been like stellar. Like Mr. Consistent. His passer rating is off the charts. Right? And their defense? This could be an interesting year for the Broncos. They could possibly give, fits to Kansas City and the Raiders and the Bolts. I think this is going to be an interesting division. The Broncos could be fighting against Kansas City for the division. It could be that. It really could go that way. I just see Bo Nix, man. Whew. Fantasy football lovers. Bo Nix, guys. Bo Nix. Oof. He's like a breeze, and wow. And then now Peyton. Oof. Man. And then Kansas City loading up Hollywood Brown, dislocated his shoulder, doesn't need surgery. Now, if you are a Kansas City fan, Chiefs Kingdom fans, of course you know that Tyreek Hill had this when he was on the Chiefs, and he played through it. And it's dislocated shoulders are funny. I mean, I dislocated my shoulder, and I was playing ball, and I dislocated it again because I didn't want to do surgery, and I dislocated it again because I didn't do surgery. And I was diving for a catch, caught it, but dislocated my shoulder, popped out again. So, not good news for Hollywood Brown. Hopefully he does come back and he can play, but, usually when a shoulder pops out, there's nothing really, I mean, it's, you're most likely that's going to continue, and it's going to be chronic. So it's the best thing to do. A thing like that would be to have a operation. Anyway, who am I? I'm no doctor, but I'm just an analyst that has an opinion. That's it. And now the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, Mr. Harbaugh. I mean, you are a godsend for Los Angeles. Oh my God. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins have looked amazing in practice over the preseason, guys. And Harbaugh loving the run in Michigan. Won the championship in Michigan. Won the championship by the run. Wow, man! They do have a great team. They're still building. I think they're still building, but they do have a great team. That's for sure. And I just love Harbaugh. He's just so good. And the Bolts. I think with Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, I think there's, and then Justin Herbert. I think if they have the run, then when Justin does the the fake handoff, or RPO, whatever you want to call it, they're going to have some good yardage. One of the receivers is going to have to step up. Unfortunately, they got rid of Keenan Allen and Williams, so all these rookies are going to have to step up. They're going to have to. I think they're 2 or 3 years out. I think they need some more talent behind them. And they're, what's really cool about this, Harbaugh's infamous at this, taking the draft and you really making the actual player into a great player, a winner. So watch out for the Bolts. They're gonna have they're gonna upset some people this year. The way they play, the way he plays. Wow, it's gonna be exciting. And then we have the Raiders. Right, and then the Las Vegas Raiders, I love the Raiders. Gardner Minshew. I mean, that Fu Manchu, the way he plays, I think Devontae Adams is going to have a big year, and they're going to win some games. They're going to this right here is going to be competitive. I don't think it's just going to be so dominant by the Chiefs. I really don't. I think some teams are going to step up this year. Then we have the AFC. Oh, excuse me, the NFC, the North NFC. The Bears. Oh God. Okay, guys. This is a team that is wow. I mean, if you've seen Caleb Williams play in the preseason, hold on to your hats, babes, because this team is going to roar. The Bear is going to roar out of its cave this year and just crush the opponents. I mean, they got a great team. They got a great team. I think it might be between them and the Lions. I think the Lions. I have to give it to the Lions because of the veterans. A veteran, a quarterback, some great team. They have a great duo. Gibbs and Montgomery. They have St. Brown. I mean, they do have Laporta. The second best. In fantasy and second best tight end in football. Maybe the third best. I'd give it the second best would be George Kittle, and the first best would be definitely Kelsey. That's for sure. And fourth would be Mark Andrews. And then I think Kyle Pitts this year is going to do a great time. It's a really great time. I think he's going to be big. I really do. And Kirk Cousins. I think Kurt will definitely use Kyle Pitts. They have a really strong team. It's going to be a fun year, guys. I mean, a lot of these teams, Chicago, much better than they were last year. They're going to surprise a lot of people. The Lions, they're roaring, and they're just really king of the jungle. They are king of the jungle in the NFC North, that's for sure. And then you have the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love's just signing that huge contract, making a run in the NFC last year, beating Dallas in Dallas. Wow. And think about it. What a great team, the Lions. I mean, everything. I mean, the Lions just roared. They really played well. And they almost beat San Francisco. They were beating them terribly in the first half. And then you have the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy out for the season. He was looking really, really good. And then, they have Sam Darnold that's taking over the reins. They were preparing Sam, to actually start in the season. So it took a lot off the table, but still they have Jefferson, Addison, boy, I mean, this team is definitely Aaron Jones, and now Green Bay has, just been consistently loading up, and I think it's going to be a great year for Green Bay. I really do. You have the NFC East. We were talking all about the Eagles. I think it's an Eagles thing. I think it's their division to lose. It's their division to lose. I think Washington's going to. I think they're going to just surprise a lot of people. I really do. I think they're going to surprise many people. And then we have. I get so excited, guys. I get so excited when I'm about to tell you something, man. And I just, just the grit. I just love football. I love football, guys. I eat, sleep, and drink this stuff, man. I really do. And I'm telling you, the Washington Commanders are just going to really, Jaden Daniels, lights out. Unfortunately, New York Giants. Don't be so harsh on Daniel Jones. He's coming off an injury. This is what happened, guys. You come off an injury. You're not like you were the year before. You'll never be like when he did when he went down with his injury last year. The first year they don't usually come back too well. They just don't, So, you have to really, know that. You really have to know that. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys. They've acquired a couple people lately. They have CeeDee Lamb is still holding out. Dak Prescott hasn't been taken care of. 12-5 the last 3 years. You're a quarterback in the NFL. You go 12-5, 12-5, and 12-5. Why aren't you re-signing this guy? Of course, I have I do have my opinions about Dak Prescott, but that's beside the point. Show me which quarterback went 12-5, 12-5, and 12-5. The only other quarterback that with that type of record is the Kansas City Chiefs. So with Patrick Mahomes, right? So this team is winning. They're winning, and I have no idea why they're not trying to sign CeeDee Lamb after his year last year. That's insane. I don't know why they're doing the Dak Prescott. Do you understand that Dak Prescott's going to get $55 million this year? $55 million, guys. $55 million this year. Wow, that's a lot of money. And what I don't get is like if they don't make a deal with him, they're going to have to. That's going to go against the cap. You understand? They could make an extension, a deal, another 5 years or 3 years or whatever, and then you could spread that out. You understand that? And you don't have so much, and then you can get the CeeDee Lamb deal done. That kind of stuff. So I'm blown away. I'm blown away by Dallas. But they're always a late. We're always talking about this, right? I think they do it just for the grandeur, for their egos, that they need to make it like a splash right near the end of this, right near before the beginning of the season. It's Jerry Jones. It's typical Jerry Jones. So we have the NFC South. We have this is always a good Baker Mayfield. Bravo last year. Bravo. What? It's funny. He's like they were interviewing Baker the other day, and they're interviewing about now is it hard to take where everyone's talking about the Atlanta Falcons winning this division because of Kirk Cousins, and then he came back and said, yeah, I had that yet last year when they had Carr came into the season, and the Carr was playing. And everyone was putting, they're going to win the division. And who won the division? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the division. Yeah. So, and then, you have, once again, the Carolina Panthers. The unfortunate part about the Panthers is their quarterback pick. I think now the general manager and the owners are so bent on not thinking about their terrible pick and what had happened, they're trying to get some players around them, but it's Carolina Panthers. I think they'll be the Carolina Panthers this year. I think they might surprise a couple people, maybe win 4 games. Bravo, right? So then you have the Atlanta Falcons loading up with Kirk Cousins and Penix and London and Pitts and on and on and on. Bijan Robinson, and don't forget about Algier, and it goes on, man. That team is really stacked, and And now with Penix, they can come in with an option, some fun RPOs, that type of stuff. It's going to be interesting. I still think that this division, everyone's calling Atlanta. I really think that Baker Mayfield is not going to be denied. And I think it's going to be between Tampa and the Falcons. Falcons most likely will win it, but my upset is going to be Tampa winning this division. NFC West, well, you have the 49ers, you have the LA Rams, you have the Arizona Cardinals, and you have the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know. I mean, Seattle has, this is the first year, with their brand new coach, and man, this team, I mean, where will they be? And man, it's just wow, just wow. So, excuse me for 1 second. And we're back. Wow. It's hot here in Los Angeles, and the air conditioning turns on. And anyway, we're talking about the NFC West and how San Francisco, and we're talking about Seattle. Carroll's gone. I mean, he was the coach for years. When they won the Super Bowl, and with Russell Wilson, and just a great team. I think the Walker's great. DK Metcalf. I mean, wow. I mean, the team's really, really good, very good. It's hard to play in their stadium. They're always tough, and and I love it. I love it that they're really behind a lot of players that everyone else, wasn't in favor of. I mean, they're just such a great team, and then you have the Arizona Cardinals. I think this is one of my kind of long shot picks. I think that Kyler Murray is going to win the MVP of the league. I think he's going to have this amazing season. I think they might even go 8-9 and be a surprise. Everyone's going to be surprised. Might even go 9-8. I think they're going to make some big plays. I really think, and Kyler is, he's going to win the MVP. I don't know. I predicted Lamar last year, but this is a huge long shot pick. Huge long shot pick. And then you have the LA Rams. The LA Rams, I mean, Matthew Stafford is back, and Cooper Kupp. This is the second year after the injury, so that's when players are better. And he's going to be better. And Pakua, what can you talk about him, say anything about him? He's just great. And they picked up Corum. They have Williams in the back room, and they in the backfield, excuse me. And they have Corum from Michigan, who won the championship, who was like the leader rushing, and from Michigan, the championship, Michigan Wolverines. And they have him. So I mean, they have some great players. Matthew Stafford back. He's going to be 100% this year. Watch out. I mean, he can fire it up, and they can definitely have a huge season. But you have to understand about the LA Rams. Sam Darnold. So everyone else is going to have to pick it up because he retired. This is the first year off of retirement. We'll see what's going to happen. Will the Rams defense be weak? Of course it is. But can they shore up some spots from the weakness of the defensive tackle, one of the best ever in the NFL? And mind you, he came to practice. He stopped by camp, and the guy looked like he could be playing right now. He did. He looked amazing. I just, wow. He was just fully muscular, looked really, really good, looked ripped. And it was amazing to see him there. And then we have the San Francisco 49ers. What can you say about them? I think they're just a juggernaut in this division. I think their defense got even better, which is hard to say. And then I think that Brandon Ayuk, I think he'll be back on the Niners. I think he will be playing for the Niners. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. Trent Williams will be back. They're going to have the whole gang back, and I think this is the year that they go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So, yes, I have the San Francisco 49ers winning the Super Bowl this year, having them going all the way. Now, on the AFC side, I have, it's going to be between Baltimore and Kansas City. That's my prediction, like I had last year. Now, what could be an upset, and this really could be an upset. I really don't think that KC's going to be in the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I think they'll lose in the early round, like the first game, and I think it's going to be like some type of upset. I just have a strange feeling that this is going to happen, and I hope for their sake it doesn't, but I just have this strange feeling definitely it will happen. So it's just, you have to realize something. There's a reason why no team has three-peated. Now they could go in and lose. They could win and be in. Most likely they probably will be in the championship game, and most likely they will be in the Super Bowl. But I don't think it's going to happen this year. I really don't. I really don't. I really truly believe that the Baltimore Ravens will be in the Super Bowl this year against the San Francisco 49ers. And then I think it's going to be a great battle, and I think the Niners are going to take it all the way. Now, the one team that could make it to the Super Bowl other than the Baltimore Ravens is my long shot pick. My long shot pick would be the Houston Texans. They might make it to the Super Bowl. They could. They have the talent, and they have the young youth, and they could make it to the Super Bowl. Also, my second upset pick would be the Buffalo Bills because of Josh Allen, and that would be. And then I don't think any other team. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs are definitely favored to be there. Yet they're not my pick to be there. Baltimore is, but Kansas City could be there, and they could just. They're Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You have to dethrone them. I think there might be a dethroning in the AFC Championship or even before with Kansas City, and I think the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens could be in the AFC Championship game, and let's say that the Houston Texans beat the Kansas City Chiefs, or something crazy like that happened, right? And then the Baltimore Ravens play the Houston Texans. That's why I think who will most likely be in the championship game of the AFC will be the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. And my cousins my nephew and everyone from Maryland and Baltimore Raven fans, you will be rejoicing because they will be in the Super Bowl. So that's my predictions, guys. It's huge. That's huge. On the NFC side, who could be my long shot? My long shot would be the Bears. My long shot going into the NFC Championship game, but still losing to the 49ers. My team that could upset everyone, the team that could actually upset everyone, there's two of them. The first one would be the Lions. The Lions coming from the Bears division, right? Or the upset could be the Philadelphia Eagles, because I think Philadelphia is really loading up this year. Guys, thank you. I hope you marked everything down, because, hey, you can bet on the MVP now. You can bet on who's going to be in the Super Bowl. You can do all that. All right, man. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next week.